What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me right here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, TV shows, and guess what? We're just a few days away from Christmas. That's why I've got my Dwight Schrute Christmas shirt on. Fact, Christmas is here. We're still a few days away, but I'm holly jolly already. And right now, I want to give you guys my thoughts on Expedition X. Sorry about that. Expedition X Season 2, Episode 6, America's Lake Monster. Now, if you are a fan of cryptid-themed television like I am, you know, Expedition Unknown, Destination Truth, Monster Quest, anything like this, chances are you've seen an episode or two or three or 10 or 20 that's been dedicated to Champ, the monster at Lake Champlain. And this is another episode that's dedicated to Champ. And I love Lake Monster episodes. I do. I love Lake Monster episodes because they're so entertaining and because I want so badly to believe. I remember hearing stories about Nessie at Loch Ness when I was a little kid. And when I was a little kid, I remember there was this Disney special that was on TV where they were talking about dinosaurs, and then they get to a section about the Plesiosaurus, and they actually they dovetail into a segment about Nessie. And I've tried to find that thing on YouTube. I've tried to find that special on DVD, on Amazon, on YouTube. I've tried to find it everywhere, and I can't find it anywhere. Probably because I just don't know how to search for it. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, it was a dinosaur special. I think it was on the Disney Channel, but at some point during the dinosaur special, it dovetailed into a Nessie segment. Let me know where it is so I can watch it, because it's been decades since I've watched it and I want to watch that again. But this episode of Expedition X focused on Champ. And I thought that that Phil and Jessica did a good job looking for something that probably isn't there, and how frustrating that must be to try to find evidence for something that probably isn't there. And let's just be real. Like I said, I want to believe that there's something in that lake, and I want to believe that there is a serpent or something, a plesiosaur or something along those lines that has been undiscovered in Lake Champlain. But the reality is that it's extremely unlikely. The best evidence that they had in this episode was the drag marks. Those drag marks could have been caused by dragging a raft into the water. I mean, there's any number of things that could have caused drag marks. And I realize that drag marks are a hallmark of animals, dragging their bodies on the ground as they're going in and out of the water, especially things like crocodiles and alligators. But it's also a hallmark of people dragging rafts and canoes and kayaks and things like that into the water. So the best evidence was something that didn't really yield any evidence at all. And that's a little frustrating. Now, it is compelling when somebody who makes his career on the water says that he saw something that he doesn't recognize. Now, if you remember, Phil kind of said that he believes that it's a sturgeon. I would think that a professional angler would know what a sturgeon looks like. So it is compelling to me to have a professional angler say, yeah, I saw something, I don't know what it is. But at the same time, even the most sharpest of minds can see things that aren't there, especially on the water. I've done a lot of boating in my life. And sometimes you just see things that aren't there. You know, the way the light's hitting the water, the way that the wave is rolling on the water, whatever the case may be, sometimes you just see something that's not there. I can't tell you how many double takes I've had to take thinking that I saw a log in the water. You know, a lot of the places where I go boating, you've got to really watch out for logs or stumps or anything in the water that you might run into, and I can't tell you how many times I had to take double takes thinking that I saw something in the water, something I didn't want to hit, like a log or a stump or something like that. A lot of my boating is done in pontoon boats. I've had my pontoon boat in 1.5 feet of water before, so you know I'm pretty good at looking into the water to see what I should and should not be running into, and I can't tell you how many times I had to do that. So just the fact that he is a professional boater or a professional angler and makes his living on the water, that does not give him total immunity from seeing things that aren't there. So I don't doubt that he saw something. I believe that absolutely he saw something. But at the same time, it could have been light refraction. It could have been just the way the wave was hitting the water, just the way the wave was rolling on the water. It could have been something small under the water that was kind of magnified to look bigger. There's a lot of different scenarios as to what it could have been that he actually saw. But what Phil and Jessica always do is they always frame it, even when there's no chance of them finding anything, they always frame it in a very entertaining way. So I was definitely very appreciative of that. And I was definitely entertained this episode. This was actually probably my favorite episode of the season. And that's just strictly based on the fact that I have such love for lake monsters. I am fascinated by the idea of what a lake monster would mean if one was found, and I'm fascinated by the lore behind them, the sightings, so many reputable sightings. I want to believe that lake monsters are there so badly. So more than any other cryptid, I want to believe that lake monsters are there. More than even Bigfoot, I want to believe lake monsters are there. So while this is my favorite episode of the season, I'm still, they didn't find anything. I wish they would have found something. But it was still very entertaining, and that's something that Josh Gates, Jessica, and Phil, they do very well. Is they definitely frame the material to make sure that you are entertained by what you're watching. So this was my favorite episode. It was so far of the season. It's the episode that entertained me the most, and it's the episode that I'll probably revisit the most. So, all that being said, what did you think of Expedition X Episode 6, America's Lake Monster, aka Champ? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining me right here at the Oki Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we'd love to talk about. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.